Man, come on, man. Yo, man, you gotta stop looking for things outside of yourself, man. You better than this, bro. I done told you before, man. Yo, look, man, check it out, man. Yo, the real moments that change everything is when we make a conscious decision to change anything. Deciding from thoughts of being sick and tired of something, starting something, or admiring something can be the emotions that fuel change. Because write this down. Emotion leads to passion, passion leads to action, and action leads to results. Word up. Question: what's the number one killer of dreams? If you said fear, you're wrong. Fear is on the list, but it's not the number one killer. The number one killer of dreams is comfort. The comfort of a good paying job or in an active relationship can seduce us for many years into the rhythm of accepting things without making any moves to change, further numbing us into a state of zombie-like passiveness. Write this down. Passiveness will cause your dreams to pass you by. But in reality, the feeling of discomfort can be the best thing that happens to any of us, because the negative emotions of mental, physical, or spiritual pain can force us to make a decision where settling ends and action begins. Also for your notes, a decision can become the beginning and end of all change. When I first got into the hair game, I met a barber by the name of Bobby Earl, who a few weeks before moved to LA from Louisiana, and he was sharp in his 60s. Bobby Earl wasn't the best barber in the world, but after only a few months in the shop, his clientele was damn near the same as some of the barbers that had been in the shop for many years. Every day I would sit at my station watching the same routine. Bobby Earl cutting customer after customer, then going outside to promote himself until he brought back in another customer. Then one day I followed him outside while he was passing out cards and asked him what his secret was. After he spoke to somebody that was passing by, I told him that I've been waiting on people to come through, but that doesn't seem to be working. That's when he told me that getting something and waiting on something are two distinctly different actions. And in his opinion, getting something means you've taken the initiative to receive what you're looking for, while waiting on something destroys the valuable time we can use to perform daily rituals, which he said is a part of the reason he promotes himself whenever he's not working. Check it out. That was the first time I had ever heard anything about daily rituals, but when he said that, it was as if a spotlight exposed all of my recent business deficiencies. Bobby Earl told me that the first thing I would have to do is decide what it is that I really want. Then after deciding what I want, I would have to imagine the experience that would be mine if I were in full possession of my desire, over and over again until I felt certain I could achieve the desire I imagined. After listening to Bobby Earl's words of wisdom, later that night I wrote down my desire in full detail, which was my dream to work on sets as the exclusive barber to the stars. Even though my clientele was non-existent and I can barely pay my $65 booth rent, I stayed focused on getting into the industry because, not to toot my own horn, I knew I was good enough to work on sets. But no matter how good I thought I was, I realized after listening to Bobby Earl that I needed to create some rituals to get me there. Before writing down my list of rituals, I kept it real with myself and went over my business deficiencies and analyzed what I could do better to come up. So at the top of my list, I wrote the word time. Since I was almost always late for appointments, including the fact that I didn't have consistent business hours, my first ritual was to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. I created that ritual because I felt it was early enough to not only get to the shop at 7 a.m., but to have enough time to imagine myself cutting hair on set and also visualizing the type of day I wanted to have before I jumped out of bed. But the most important ritual I developed was ending my visions with prayers of gratitude, because I learned that when you're thankful, you'll have more to be thankful about. In keeping those rituals, my clientele increased, and not too long after, I received my first set job on a show called Homeboys in Outer Space. From conditioning myself to waking up early and being on time, I continued to have success in the entertainment industry. Because when major money is on the line, don't sleep. Time definitely becomes a factor. Now, after you decide what the heaven you want, the inner sight of your desire has to become as clear as placing your hand in front of your face, being replayed over and over again until you are certain you can do it. In scripture, this is what it means to call things which are not seen as though they were. Being certain stems from conditioning the mind through daily rituals that build certainty in our desires before any physical action takes place. Don't sleep. The people that don't believe in their desires with certainty will never take action. And as we all know, no moves being made brings us no step closer to what we desire. When you believe with certainty, it becomes easier to take major action. You have to imagine the possibilities until you become certain that the action you imagine will bring results. So it's important to perform daily rituals that will condition your mind into believing what you desire is possible. The discipline of daily rituals develops focus of certainty that leads to results. And results, whether large or small, creates the potential for greater results. Because everything affects everything. For example, the daily ritual of brushing and flossing can save our teeth from falling out due to gingivitis, which can lead to poor digestion from not being able to chew our food properly. Poor digestion then leads to other health issues because everything affects everything. Accomplishing the small things can lead to major results, and ignoring the small things can lead to major problems, which is why passiveness causes our dreams to pass us by. Believe that they can no longer keep it from us.